All right, buddy. This is Bleach episode 2 review. So basically, I'm not doing reactions no more, bro. Fuck, I keep getting copyrighted. So I'm switching to review. But anyways, let's get into it, man. So basically with the episode, it was good, man. So basically we got the very important news, man. Off the jump. So my boy, the Shinigami, I forgot his name, but he got a call from Soul Society, which was from Akon. And basically everybody was in the room right there. So basically Akon knew the Shinigami that we saw in the previous episode is with Ichigo and Uri and all them in his room. So they know they're in contact right now. They're together basically. So he gets the call from Akon. Akon explains the situation. And yeah, man, he tells him that the Yamamoto's right hand, Sasakibe Kyujiro, he dies, man. He gets annihilated by enemy intruders. He basically goes on and tells him that these enemies have a way to get into our Serete with our passing through our Ryatsu, because they have a shield around Soul Society. You remember? In Soul Society, when Ichigo and Inoue and them get there, there's a big shield around Soul Society. And yeah, so basically, they're basically saying they have a way to get into Soul Society by passing our by passing our by passing our Ryatsu. And yeah, he basically goes on, yeah, man. And that's and then after that, now and then I love we get anime scenes that are not in the manga, which is of Ichigo just sitting in his room. Not that one is in the manga. We get Ichigo sitting in his room. We get we get Chad running. We get Inoue just looking at the window, beautiful reflections, which is from the opening that we saw. Oh yeah, the opening. But I'll get into it in a bit. And then we get what was Udi doing? I think that one was just looking like Udi at that point. But yeah, and then we cut to the funeral, to the cremation. We see a beautiful shot, beautiful scenery of all the. I believe we saw all the captains. Nah, we didn't see all the captains, but we saw some. Then we saw Shinigami behind them. You know, we saw them. It was looking beautiful, man. The sun was coming down. We see a shot of Yamamoto. He's just looking at my boy Sasakibe, which got wrecked. He got wrecked, man. Basically, we saw a nice little. It was a nice touch by. Well, it wasn't a manga, but it was a nice touch. We saw Sasakibe kneeling down to Yamamoto, and then Yamamoto saying, "Set the fire." And yeah. Oh, and I forgot the most important part. It was the beginning of the episode. I forgot that shit. We saw you Yawak. How they say his name yet? I don't even know. Yuhabak, whatever his name is gonna be, bro. We saw that motherfucker kill Ebron and the other Arankan Quincy. I forgot his name. But he went like these, blew both of their heads off, man. That shit was crazy. Oh, I forgot. How do I forget, bruh? We see the introduction of Nell. We get the introduction of Pesh again, and then we see Nell versus Yuhabok, a little scene, and how she got captured basically, and that was the whole beginning of the episode. How did I forget this shit? But yeah, we see a little glimpse of Ewok going into Hueco Mundo and capturing Halibel. And that shit was very clean, man. Very clean. We see Holly Bell get destroyed. Yeah, that was tough for her, man. Yeah. And then once we see the cremation, all that shit happen, that's when we get the introduction of Urahara, Kisuke, Kisuke. That way Kisuke comes in, he's like, "So y'all talking about a trip?" And I'm good with trips, man. And yeah, basically he takes him into Hueco Mundo by Garganta. And yeah, that's where we get the introduction of Stern Ritter J, Quilge. Yeah, Quilge, man. I mean, he's a badass. He's a badass. Next episode, Ichigo versus Kyuge. That episode. This is where I'm expecting the next episode animation to go through the roof. This is where I expect this shit, man. Expect that, cause trust me, in the manga, Kyuge versus Ichigo, that shit was amazing, amazing. So yeah, so basically we get Ichigo and the crew falling down through the garganta all the way to the floor. We see Pesh giving an explanation to how the Quincy were doing them, and then we get a beautiful shots of Kyoge stabbing at least like three Arankars, or it was four, and that shit was amazing. Then we see the two females. I forgot the name. I forgot the name. How did I forget? And then yeah, they basically like stand up against Kyoge. They're the two female Arankars that were bullying Inoue and and the what you call it, and the Wekamundo arc. Those two females are there. Yeah, we see a beautiful animation right there with Quilge snapped his sword. He went up then down, and she got bodied, and then that boy slapped the other female. She went flying. That shit was beautiful. And then we get the introduction again of the tres females of Holly Bell's assistants basically. The introduction they made was very clean. We saw smooth animation, flowing animation, just catching bodies left and right. Then we got a beautiful shot of Quilgate catching the spear. That shit was very nice. How when he caught it, the wind was very clean right there, very cleanly. And yeah, that's basically where the episode. Oh no, no, and then we get the. That's when we cut back to the. That's when we cut back to Soul Society of Mayuri, basically telling all the captains and the head captain Yamamoto that the enemies are none other than the Quincy's. The Quincy's. Yeah, man. And then, yeah, that right there is basically the whole episode. Then we cut back to Ichigo getting a clean shot of Ichigo and Kyuuge looking at each other. So that's what's gonna happen next episode. If we can see the fight, and that fight should be very good, man. But overall, the episode was really good, man. That shit was very good. And it was guys. I'll see y'all, man, on the next one.